Team leader Jake Shadow Mitchell's final radio transmission was only 4 words: "We're not alone here." On August 12, 2018, the 6-man SEAL Team 6 completely disappeared during a classified operation in the Afghanistan-Pakistan border region. 3 years later, when NSA satellite imagery was analyzed, what really happened that night was revealed, and even the Pentagon wasn't prepared for what they found. Before we begin this investigation, let us know where you're watching from in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Because today's story is one of the most inexplicable events involving America's most elite soldiers. Jake Mitchell was 34 years old in 2018 and one of the most experienced operators in the Navy SEALs. His call sign Shadow came from his ability to move silently and remain invisible behind enemy lines. In his 12-year Navy career, he had participated in 67 successful operations without ever losing a team member. Jake's physical appearance was that of a typical Special Forces commander. Standing 5'11" with an athletic build, his dark hair was always kept in a short military cut. His tanned skin showed years spent under harsh sun, and his dark brown eyes were calm but always alert. Small scars from combat wounds were visible on his arms and face. For his family, Jake was a perfect husband and father. He had been married to Jennifer for 8 years, and they had 2 children, 8-year-old Tyler and 5-year-old Madison. They lived a quiet life in a military family neighborhood near Naval Amphibious Base Coronado in San Diego. Jake's specialty was night operations and reconnaissance missions behind enemy lines. He could speak Pashto and Dari and had extensive knowledge of local cultures. These skills made him the perfect team leader for the August 12th operation. None of them could have predicted that this operation would be his final mission. SEAL Team 6 consisted of America's most elite warriors. Each had different specializations and were perfectly trained operators. Staff Sergeant Mike Rodriguez, 29, was the explosives expert and sniper. He came from a Texas ranch family and had spent his childhood learning precision shooting with his father. He had been with the SEALs for 7 years and could hit targets at 850 meters. Petty Officer David Chen, 31, was the communications and electronic warfare specialist. An MIT engineering graduate, he had joined the Navy out of fascination with technology. He could intercept enemy communications, hack electronic systems, and establish satellite communications. Hospital corpsman Alex Thompson, 27, was the medic and close combat specialist. From Denver, he was a medical school graduate who had joined the SEALs seeking a venture. He could both treat wounds and be lethal in hand-to-hand combat. Chief Petty Officer Marcus Williams, 33, was the team's most senior member. An experienced warrior completing his 3rd tour, he was a demolition specialist. He used explosives with surgical precision and served as the team's father figure. Petty Officer Sam Torres, 26, was the youngest team member, specializing in mountain and maritime operations. Raised on California beaches, he had near supernatural abilities in swimming and diving. He could operate various vehicles and navigate treacherous terrain. These 6 men had been operating together for years, trusting each other blindly. They had served in the world's most dangerous places and always returned home together. Until August 12, 2018. August 12, 2018 was a hot summer day in San Diego. Team 6 was called to SEAL headquarters for a special briefing at 6. The operation was codenamed Dark Thunder. Commander Robert Hayes was a 15-year SEAL officer experienced in classified operations. "Gentlemen," he said, "tonight you'll be conducting a critical operation in the Afghanistan-Pakistan border region. According to our intelligence, high-value target Khalil Hakim is hiding in a mountain cave complex 50 kilometers northeast of Jalalabad. The target was hiding in ancient Buddhist temple ruins built into mountain caves. Intelligence suggested 8 to 10 militants guarding the location. The briefing covered approach routes, cave layouts, extraction procedures. Everything seemed standard for an HVT capture operation. Jake studied the mission parameters carefully. The target appeared to be ancient ruins built into natural cave formations. Commander, what's the timeline? How current is our intelligence?" Intelligence is less than 48 hours old. However, weather in the region has been challenging for satellite surveillance. David Chen asked about technical aspects. communication protocols, electronic warfare considerations, standard communication schedules, check in every 20 minutes. If communication is lost for more than 40 minutes, quick reaction forces deploy. Alex Thompson inquired about medical considerations, expected enemy strength, potential casualties. Intelligence estimates 8 to 12 militants maximum. The location is remote with no civilian population within 10 kilometers. Marcus Williams asked the question that was bothering him. Commander, this seems rushed compared to our normal operation tempo. What's driving the urgency? Hayes paused. CENTCOM believes Hakim possesses information about planned attacks that could result in significant American casualties. Every hour of delay increases the risk. The briefing lasted 90 minutes. At 14, the team began final preparations. None of them knew they were walking into something that would challenge the very nature of reality. The C-130 transport aircraft departed Coronado at 18. Destination: Bagram Air Base, Afghanistan. During the 16-hour flight, the team conducted final mission planning, studying satellite photos until every detail was memorized. At 22:30 local time, they landed at Bagram. 2 Black Hawk helicopters were ready for the final approach to the target area. The flight will cover 150 kilometers of mountainous terrain. At 23:15, the Black Hawks departed Bagram. Weather conditions were perfect. Clear skies, minimal wind, excellent visibility. The team moved with a fluid precision that came from years of training and combat experience. Jake made final coordination. Command, this is Shadow. Outbound, ETA, target 2, all systems green. Copy Shadow. Weather update. Clear skies, no enemy movement detected in target area. At 1:57, the helicopters reached the landing zone. The Afghan mountainside was silent under moonlight. The ancient cave complex was visible 600 meters up the mountain slope, carved directly into the rock face. The moment Team 6 crossed into the cave system, Jake felt the temperature drop noticeably. The air inside carried strange scents, not musty cave air, but something almost metallic, like the atmosphere before a lightning storm. Their night vision revealed carved corridors extending far deeper than satellite imagery had suggested. The stonework was extraordinary, walls carved with geometric precision that seemed impossible for ancient tools. This architecture is incredible, Alex Thompson whispered. The precision is almost machine-like. Jake signaled for a halt after 50 meters. Something was wrong. Their intelligence had been fundamentally flawed. Chen, electronic status report. David Chen checked his equipment with growing confusion. Shadow, anomalous readings. GPS coordinates are unstable. Compass heading fluctuating. Could be mineral interference. The cave layout bore no resemblance to their mission maps. Intelligence had described a simple 3-chamber system. Instead, they found precisely carved corridors branching in complex patterns. Mike Rodriguez's voice crackled through communications. Shadow, losing visual contact. Some kind of atmospheric distortion around cave entrance. Jake's combat instincts screamed warnings. All stop. Something isn't right. Marcus Williams examined wall carvings. Shadow? These symbols aren't Buddhist. Not any script I recognize. And they look fresh, like they were carved recently. Sam Torres pointed to the floor. Boot prints, multiple sets. But the tread patterns don't match standard footwear. And they just stop. Alex Thompson's equipment behaved strangely. Shadow detecting massive biological activity below us, but readings don't make sense. David Chen's systems malfunction severely. All equipment failing. GPS showing impossible coordinates. Radio communication failing. Jake tried contacting Rodriguez. Overwatch, radio check. Static field their headphones. Shadow, can barely. Something surrounding. Entrance. Then silence. Jake made a command decision. We conduct quick reconnaissance, then extract if no HVT. After 15 minutes, they discover something impossible. A stairway carved from solid rock, descending into absolute darkness. Intelligence never mentioned multiple levels, Jake said. Alex Thompson aimed his scanner down the stairway. Major biological activity below, multiple human signatures, but readings are unlike anything I've seen. From the depths came faint sounds, voices speaking in an unknown language. Could be our HVT, Marcus Williams suggested. Professional duty won over instinct. We descend. Standard formation. Stay alert. At 2:18, Team 6 began descending into the mountain's depths. Unaware they were walking into a temporal anomaly. The stairway descended much farther than seemed possible. Their night vision illuminated walls covered in symbols that seemed to shift in peripheral vision. After descending for 10 minutes, they reached a vast chamber carved like an ancient amphitheater. "This is impossible," David Chen said. "We're now below valley floor level, but we entered halfway up the mountain." The voices were clearer now, definitely human, but speaking in an unknown language with strange cadences. Sam Torres examined wall carvings. These symbols aren't random. There's a pattern, like they're telling a story. Alex Thompson's scanner showed strange readings. Multiple human life signs ahead, but biometric data doesn't match normal human physiology. In the chamber center stood a raised stone platform, and on that platform were 3 figures in modern military clothing. They stood perfectly motionless, like statues, but Jake could see they were breathing. American personnel. Marcus Williams started forward. "Wait!" Jake stopped him. Through binoculars, Jake studied the figures. They were alive but remained perfectly still, eyes open but vacant. Most disturbing was their apparent age. They should be young adults but appeared elderly. Alex Thompson scanned the platform. They've been standing there for hours, maybe days, like they're in some kind of trance. David Chen detected massive energy readings from the platform itself. That stone platform is generating some kind of field. Then Jake heard footsteps. 6 figures emerged from the shadows, wearing the same tactical equipment as Team 6, with the same faces. But they were older, much older. Jake found himself looking at an aged version of himself. Same scars, same build, but with gray hair and exhausted eyes. "This is impossible," Jake whispered. The aged Jake stepped forward. "You're not supposed to be here yet. The temporal cycle hasn't completed." Jake realized Operation Dark Thunder had never been about capturing a Taliban commander. Time itself operated by different rules in this chamber. The aged Jake explained the horrifying reality. "I'm you, from Timeline. Loop 47. You're in Loop 1. I've been trapped here for 40 years of subjective time." Alex Thompson scanned the aged versions. Biometric readings confirmed. These are us, but decades older. The chamber was a temporal anomaly discovered by ancient civilizations. The Pentagon had found it through archaeological surveys and needed test subjects. There was never an HVT, the aged Jake revealed. Intelligence was fabricated. You're expendable test subjects. The aged team had experienced dozens of loops, trying every escape method. Each attempt failed, resetting them to cave entry. "One way to break the cycle," aged Jake explained. "Overload the platform with temporal energy. Chamber collapses, ending all loops. But everyone dies." Jake faced an impossible choice. Condemn his team to infinite loops, or sacrifice everyone to end the cycle forever. The platform's energy reached critical levels. "Choose now," aged Jake shouted. Instead of choosing either option, Jake conceived a third alternative. What if we destroy the platform during reset transition? Create a paradox that breaks the loop logic. The aged Jake paused. "Never tried that. Too dangerous." Jake grinned. "Or create a paradox that defaults to null state." David Chen understood. Quantum mechanics. Paradox resolution might eliminate the temporal distortion. "Execute," Jake commanded. Marcus Williams detonated maximum charges at the platform. David Chen overloaded all electronics, creating electromagnetic pulse. Alex Thompson activated emergency beacons. Sam Torres prepared evacuation. Mike Rodriguez's voice crackled. "Shadow. Seeing multiple teams, need extraction." The aged Jake smiled. Paradox achieved. The platform exploded in brilliant white light. Reality fractured. Jake saw infinite versions of himself across endless timelines. Everything collapsed into white light. Silence, darkness. Jake found himself outside the cave in afternoon sunlight, his team around him, looking confused but unharmed. Rodriguez ran toward him. Shadow, you were only in there 3 minutes, but I saw dozens of you walking out simultaneously. Jake checked his watch. 3 minutes had passed in baseline reality, but he remembered everything. 40 years of loops, the terrible choice that broke the cycle. Mission abort. We're extracting immediately. They had broken the temporal cycle. The paradox worked, but Jake would carry those memories forever. 3 years later, NSA analyst Dr. Sarah Kim discovered anomalous satellite footage from August 12, 2018. The imagery showed impossible thermal signatures. 6 heat sources multiplying into dozens before vanishing completely. Dr. Kim escalated to Director Harrison, who classified the footage at the highest level. The Pentagon review never came. Official records showed Operation Dark Thunder as successful, but the satellite evidence suggested something far more complex had occurred. Jake returned to his family changed. He carried memories of 40 years in temporal loops, aging in that chamber, watching his team suffer endlessly. Jennifer noticed immediately. You seem different, older somehow. Jake couldn't explain without revealing classified information, but Tyler and Madison also sensed their father's change. He treated every moment as precious, paid attention to details he'd previously missed. All Team 6 members experienced similar adjustments. They had vague recollections of meeting older versions of themselves, but memories felt like fading dreams. Within 6 months, all requested transfers or early retirement. They remained close friends but carried shared trauma they couldn't articulate. Pentagon officials classified all Operation Dark Thunder records beyond top secret. The archaeological site was declared off-limits due to structural instability. The Temporal Research Division was quietly disbanded, but dozens of similar sites worldwide continued offering opportunities for temporal research. In 2021, Jake's son Tyler was studying computer science at Stanford when he began investigating quantum computing applications. His research revealed Pentagon papers discussing temporal manipulation technology. Tyler discovered patterns of military teams disappearing at ancient sites worldwide. He confronted his father with his findings. Jake broke protocol and told Tyler everything. Temporal loops, aged versions of his team, the impossible choice that broke the cycle. There are things in this world that challenge everything we know about reality, Jake explained. Tyler understood the power of social media and viral information. Sometimes truth finds a way to surface, even when powerful people try to bury it. Tyler created a social media campaign exposing military cover-ups. His investigation revealed 423 personnel had disappeared at temporal sites over 60 years. His viral content created political pressure leading to congressional hearings. Committee members learned the truth but voted to continue the program with improved safety protocols. Frustrated by government secrecy, Tyler coordinated global disclosure across media platforms on August 12, 2022. The revelation forced congressional oversight, family notifications, and establishment of a memorial for temporal service members. The SEAL Team 6 case represents one of the most extraordinary military incidents in modern history. Jake Mitchell's transmission, "We're not alone here," proved prophetic. The chamber was inhabited by infinite versions of themselves. 3 years later, satellite evidence confirmed impossible events had occurred during their 3-minute cave exploration. But official cover-ups kept the truth classified. Jake and his team achieved something unprecedented. They encountered a temporal anomaly and defeated it through tactical innovation and courage. Their success came at personal cost, carrying memories of experiences that officially never happened. Today, Jake works as a private contractor, occasionally hinting to students that reality is more complex than they assume. Tyler continues researching temporal anomalies, hoping to expose programs that send military personnel into impossible situations. The temporal chamber collapsed permanently when the paradox was resolved. No future teams will face the same trap, but other sites remain active. Their story is both victory and warning. They proved impossible situations can be defeated through courage and intelligence, but also reveal that reality contains mysteries beyond human understanding. SEAL Team 6 didn't just disappear. They changed everything. Their sacrifice ensured no more families would suffer from government lies about temporal experiments. Sometimes the impossible becomes possible through courage. Sometimes heroes save the future by changing the past. Jake's choice, creating a paradox to break the temporal cycle, may have been the most important military decision in history. Their story reminds us that reality is stranger than we imagine, but human determination can triumph over seemingly impossible odds. Sometimes winning an unwinnable situation requires changing the rules entirely. This missing persons case continues to be one of the most haunting military mysteries. If you are interested in unexplained disappearances and military cover-ups, subscribe and share your thoughts about what other mysteries you'd like us to investigate.